Okay, all right. Good evening, everyone. It's great to have you all on the stream tonight. It's another time with Tutor IO, and today's tutorial is GST, GST107, as a good study guide, and this happens to be our second class on the all right for this course, and hopefully our next class, which will be the third, will be the last class, which should be on Thursday or Friday, if I'm not mistaken. Right. So, Mr. Alade, can you unmute yourself, please?
I'm still in a noise here. That's why, but I will leave now so that I can concentrate.
Okay, I just need you were in the first class, right?
Yes.
I need you to quickly walk us through what you have in your notes.
This is my first time of attending this class, GST107.
Seriously? So you were in the last class?
No, I came late. I came late.
So you didn't go back to the class to catch up with what you might have missed, sir?
Yes, I still have it's a debt on me, so which of course I will still go back. It's a debt on me due to some certain business something.
Okay, so let's continue. All right. So today, let's start from the characteristics of open and distant learning. In our last class, we started the discussion on open and distant learning, speaking about how it started, all right, in over the world, all right, around the world, and how it started in other countries. And we also talked about how it started in particular in Nigeria, and how it had weathered some stormy time, and how it actually eventually pulled through. All right. So today we are still going to continue on that, and we're going to talk about the characteristics of open and distant learning. All right. Now we have the very first thing we should have in mind when it comes to open and distant learning, just like what we said the other time. We have the separation of teacher and learner. All right. The separation of teacher and learner is one of the major characteristics. All right. When we talk of open and distant learning, we have the first characteristic is separation of teacher and learner. We also have openness. All right. Openness in the sense that everything is online. All right. So far you are given access, you can access the classes. All right. Openness is the key word behind open and distant learning. All right. It's also flexible. Flexibility is part of it. It's also flexible. All right. It's also affordable. All right. It's also affordable. All right. So we have that as that. Now let's talk about some certain terms. All right, in open and distant learning. All right, terms like learner to content, learner to instructor, and learner to learner. All right. Now, when we say learner to content, what are we talking about? All right, this is said to be the interactivity that comes when learner studies or examines the course contents. Learner to content. All right, this is the interactivity. All right, that comes into play when a learner studies or examines, all right, especially when you are studying your course material, all right, this is what we call learner to content, all right, when this is it's an interactivity, all right, between the learner and the content, all right, and this happens when the learner studies or examines course content, all right, or other instructional activities. So we have learner to instructor, just like we have learner to content, but in this context now, the interaction is between the learner to the instructor. Now, this interaction that transpires between learner and the lecturers, all right, learners and the tutor, the lecturers, all right, and we have learner to learner. This interaction occurs between or amongst learners in a web-based instruction, right? When learners to learner interact on a web-based level, So those three of them: learner to content, learner to instructor, and learner to learner. Are we good to go?
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Very understandable.
All right. All right. So in the open distance learning system, teachers are referred to as instructors. Okay. Teachers are referred to as instructors. Now, learning environment is a software designed as an all-in-one solution that can facilitate learning for an organization. Learning environment. Let me take that again. Learning environment now is what? A software that is designed as a what? All-in-one solution. All right. And this software facilitates online learning. All right, for an organization. Now, this learning environment is also referred to as what? As an interface. And this interface allows, all right, allows students to register and take courses, staying within that environment for the duration of the course. Do you understand, sir?
Very, very clear.
Awesome. Not very clear.
No, I said it's very clear. What I mean is I understand, very, very understanding.
All right, all right. Now let's continue. Now, when we talk about instructors to students, right? Basically, instructors, all right, the major function of teachers or instructor, and we say they are referred to as instructors, all right, is to what? To motivate students to perform planned tasks and activity. All right. The major function of tutors or instructors is to motivate students to perform planned tasks and activities. Now, when it comes to open and distant learning, you can't impose anything on the students. And at the conventional universities, whereby if you don't come to class, your lecturer can threaten you that you will fail my course. If you don't buy my material, my handouts, you will fail this course. There's nothing like that in the open and distant learning system. The best any tutor or instructor can do is just to motivate, to encourage students to what? Perform, because what we are doing now is part of the planned tasks. Because as a student, all right, in the open distance learning system, you are expected to go through your course materials, right? Self-discipline, self-study, all right? Even after this class, you are still expected to go back to your notes, all right? It's all about self-studying, self-discipline. What we are just doing here is to encourage, to motivate, all right, students towards self-studying and self-reading. All right, so we have that as that. Now, it is said here that if you want to be successful as a distant learner, as a distant learning student, you must be able to discipline yourself. The key behind successful, all right, distant learning, all right, the key for any student to become successful in the distant learning system is what? Is to what? Discipline. Is ourselves. It can only take, what we are doing tonight can only take discipline. I mean, I have all the excuse to cancel tonight's class. All right, just moments ago, I called the electrician to come and help fix one or two things, and unfortunately, about 3 bulbs got bad. My charger to the phone I'm using to stream now got burnt. I have to still, apart from the fact that I will pay the electrician, I have to fix my charger that I just got about last week for almost 5,000 naira. I have to pay him for that. All right, and I have to get, if I switch off this light now, this place will be dark. It's just one bulb out of 3 bulbs.
That is true.
It can only take discipline for you to be in this class, sir. I mean, this group, I think we are about 16 of us, but I'm not mistaken. Yes. All right, for you to be here in this time, Like, it's not as if you don't have any other thing to do. You have things to do. It requires discipline. And for those that are not here, for them to also come back to the class to catch up with what they might have missed, maybe because they are at work while this class was ongoing, it also takes them discipline to do that. All right. So to be successful, that's the key word in the open distance learning. It takes discipline for you to be in class. It takes discipline for you to make your notes. It takes discipline for you to get updated with past questions and exam keynotes and everything. All resources at your disposal. It takes discipline for you to utilize them. Because it's a different thing for you to have these resources at your disposal, and it's a different thing for you to utilize these resources properly. All right. So it all revolves around discipline. So we have that as that. Now let's talk about listening. All right. Listening is considered to be the first out of the 4 basic language skills. There are 4 basic language skills, and the listening happens to be the first out of them. Before you say you want to write, you need to listen. Before you say you want to speak, all right, you need to what? Listen. All right. Listening is what? The first out of the 4 basic language skills. Now, listening involves receiving sounds through the ear and processing it into a meaningful. All right, whereby you receive sound through the ear, all right, and process it into what? Meaningful bits. All right. Now, when you listen, it is not only the ears that are at work, all right, but the brain too. All right. When we listen, it's not just the ear that is at work or the ears that are at work, all right. Also, our brain is also at work. Now, when we receive sound through the ears, our brain converts this message for proper assimilation and understanding. All right. For proper, just a moment. From proper assimilation, all right, and understanding. So the ear and the brain work together when it comes to receiving sound and processing it into meaningful bits. Ear and the brain. All right. And listening is said to be what? A very important, essential skill that you must acquire to be able to be successful in your study. Now, let's talk about the strategies for effective listening. Strategies for effective listening. Now, you need to first stop talking and pay attention. All right? The very first strategy for effective listening, you have to what? Stop talking and pay attention. All right? Maintain eye contact with the speaker. Empathize with the speaker. You should make the speaker feel free. Empathizing with the speaker makes the speaker feel free, all right, talking to you. You know, it's a wrong thing for somebody to be talking to you, or maybe you are pressing your phone, right, or you are watching TV. If you make the person feel as if he's just wasting time talking to you. Empathize. Oh, you said this. Oh, is that so? Oh, okay. I think I understand. Okay, I'm following. All right. It made the speaker feel free talking to you. All right. So we have that as that. You also have to remove physical and mental distractions. All right. And there's something we call non-verbal cues. All right. Body movement, body language, be at alert to it. All right. All these things makes you, all right, an effective listener. All right. And you also have to what? Take notes. A good listener put down points, important points. See, that's why I used to emphasize. All right. When we're in the class, we should also always take down points. That's one of the characteristics or qualities of a good listener. All right. Put down points, because the brain can forget sometimes, but what you pen down never forgets. Right? The book doesn't forget. All right. So we have that as that. Now, we'll talk about attentive or active listening. Okay, Miss Mary, you joined us today. It's great to have you on the stream. If you don't mind, you can show your face if you don't mind. It's a Telegram class, an interactive one. So when we talk about attentive, all right, and effective listening, active or attentive listening. Miss Mary, you can unmute yourself and show your face, please. Now, when someone listens intently, when you listen intently, all right, then we refer to what you are doing as active or attentive listening. All right, active attentive listening is when you what listen intently. All right, in order to what to learn. Miss Mary, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm trying to see if I can bring myself, but I don't know how to do it.
Okay, I think there's an icon that looks like a video. You click on it, it should show your face, your front camera. Just click on it, it should show your face.
Okay, okay. Hello, good evening.
Ma, the class is recorded. Are you okay with that? The class is recorded, and we are putting it on YouTube for others to watch. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Awesome. And where is your notes, ma? Do you have your notes with you? It's a classroom. Yes, I expect you to have your writing material. Okay, Mr. Alfred, it's great to have you on the stream, although you came a bit late, but you are welcome.
Okay, just maybe later I'll go through the record one and see it well, because I think I came late now.
Sir, I saw a post from you that the class is going to start by 7. So I was on by 7. I didn't see anything. So what happened?
Yes, I apologize for that. Actually, Miss Richie called, and when this class was about to start, I had to explain that I had some serious technical issues here. I called the electrician to come help fix some things, and unfortunately, as he was working, all the bulb in the room got bad. Even my charger got burnt. All right, I was so disorganized, and I was just preparing for my class. I was so disorganized, unnecessary expenses and everything. I wanted to have canceled the class, all right, but I just had to go through the whole thing and realize that we don't have much time. This is one course I want us to finish in our next class. So that was why I could not catch up with 7. So sorry about that.
It's okay.
Okay. So so we've been, we had our first class already. This is the second class, and we have been talking about, just before now, talked about listening, and we said it is the very first and the most important, not the most important, but the very first skill, all right, out of 4 other skills that you require as a student. We said a lot of things about listening, just like we have said, for you to be an effective listener, all right, you need to do some certain things, like you need to pay attention, all right, stop talking and pay attention, maintain eye contact, all right, with the speaker, and so much more. Now let's go straight so that we don't drag back and forth. Now let's go straight back to appreciative listening. When we say appreciative listening, what do we mean by appreciative listening? Now, appreciative listening involves listening for the pure pleasure and for enjoyment. Pure pleasure and enjoyment. Appreciative listening. In point. All right? So we have that as that. Then we move straight ahead to what we call advantage of learning through listening. There's some advantage you get from learning through listening. All right. First, you improve your communication skills. When you learn through listening, it greatly enhances a student's what? It greatly enhances your communication skill when you learn through listening. All right. It helps you to what? To increase retention. I think my network skipped it. I believe you all can hear me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, carry on, sir.
Oh my goodness. My network is skipping. Can we all hear me now?
Go ahead, sir.
Awesome. Now, let's talk about note taking. All right. Note taking can be done in various ways. All right. But when it comes to note taking, and one of the characteristics of being an effective listener, just like what we said earlier on, you take down points. As an effective listener, you take down points. All right. So now I want to talk about some methods involved in note taking. All right. Now we have the Cornell method. That's the Cornell, Cornell method. All right. This is a special form of what? Note taking. All right. And it is drawn up based on two unequal columns. All right. Two unequal columns. All right. The narrow left side is used to enter Q or keywords. I think like better, but let me just explain. All right. We have here take note drawn up based on two unequal columns, like a tabulated form. All right. The left hand side, my left, the left hand side of the column, this is where you put down key points. The left hand side of the column, you put down key points. All right. And the wider right side is where you put your short description. That's the Cornell method. All right. In form of what? Note taking in form of two unequal columns. Whereby the left hand side is for the short key points. It's for the key points. All right. While the right hand side, which is wider, is for short descriptions. All right. We also have the outline method. This method involves the use of what? Dash or indented outline. All right. We have the mapping method. All right. This method is done as a what? Diagram. All right. And it gives graphical representation of the ideas and concepts, all right, from a lecture. It has to do with use of charts, tables, and rows. All right. So we have that as that. All right. Let's talk about speaking before we call it a wrap for tonight's class. We really should have started earlier because we still have MTH 105 class tonight. And I need to prepare for the class. Now let's talk about speaking. Now when we say speaking, just a moment. Now, speaking, all right, supports effective learning. All right, speaking is one of the key skills that supports effective learning. All right, and it's your ability to what? Effectively convey to your listener, yeah, your thoughts, conveying to your listener or to the audience your thoughts effectively. All right, conveying your thoughts and ideas to your listener effectively. That's all. That's sundry, all and sundry of speak out communicating effectively. All right. And we have that as that. And we have how to be an effective listener, speaker. All right. Engage the audience. All right. You should have a purpose. Don't just speak for speaking's sake. Have a message. Have a purpose for speaking. Always prepare your speech. All right. And we have that as that. And we have the types of speaking, which we have the informative. All right. As the name involves, as the name implies, to inform. Entertainment speaking, as the name implies, speak to entertain. All these comedians, jesters, speak to entertain. All right. So we have certain challenges you face, all right, as a speaker. Issues like grammar, all right, vocabulary, pronunciations, all right, mother tongue. These are the challenges with speaking. And lack of knowledge of the subject matter. Lack of knowledge. If the subject matter, you have no idea about it, you have issues. Don't forget, speaking is all about communicating your idea. If you have no idea, what do you want to talk about? Nothing. All right. So we have that as that. Now we have reading. All right. When we say reading, what are we talking about? Now, let's pay attention to this. Listening is considered to be the first. All right. Out of the four. All right. The four are listening. All right. 4 skills you need as a student. 4 important skills. We have listening, we have speaking, we have reading, and we have writing. Right? We've talked about listening. We've discussed speaking. All right. Now I want to talk about reading. All right. Just a moment. Okay. Something okay. All this is done for feature. Okay. Okay. I think there's an error here in my notes. The content is repeated. So we'll stop on reading. Let me use the opportunity to scrap this out because this is repeated. Okay.
No, sir, you are not audible. I can't hear anything from you.
That's correct.
What about now?
Yes,
Yeah,
I can hear you now.
Awesome. So I said here a quick one on hearing. All right. It's said to be the basic level of the use of the ear. All right. The basic level of the use of the ear. All right. Now, when you say hearing is different from listening. Are we together? Hearing
Yes.
is different from listening. Now, hearing is said to be what? The most basic level of the use of the ear. It involves what? Simple physical acts. All right? Simple physical acts of sound filtering. All right? Into the ear. Now, but when we say listening, listening is more intense. Listening is more intentional. All right? It is more intense and is said to be a mental activity. All right? Whereby meaning is assigned, all right, to sound received by the brain. Now, do we see the difference between these two things?
Yes, sir.
Are we there? All right. So, okay. All right. Just like what we said before, strategies for effective listening. We have stop talking and pay attention, maintain eye contact with the speaker, and empathize with the speaker. All right. All right. Remove physical and mental distractions. Okay. And we have purpose for listening. All right. We listen in order to what? We listen in order to what? The types of purpose for listening. We have the active or the attentive listening. All right. This is a situation whereby you listen intently to learn. All right. When you listen intensively to learn, all right, we have the critical or analytical listening. From the word critical and analytical. All right. When you listen so that you can evaluate what you have heard. All right. When you listen with the intention to evaluate and analyze the received message. All right. And we have the emphatic or therapeutic listening. All right. This listening takes place when you listen to provide emotional support to the speaker. When you're listening in order to provide emotional support, especially when ladies are reporting heartbreak, or when your friend, who happens to be a lady, is reporting a heartbreak to you. All right. You listen and play, all right, in order to play along and feel empathize. All right. Empathize with the person. These are the types and purpose of listening. All right. So I think on this note, we'll call it a wrap for today. All right. So I can go prepare for MT105 class. All right. So let me put it here. Next class. So in our next class, we should be
what time? MT105. What time?
It's supposed to be for 9:30. According to the timetable, 9:30.
Okay.
So hopefully in our next class, we'll round up with this course. That should be on, let me check my timetable. Okay, that's on Thursday. GST107 by 8 p.m. on Thursday. But that 8 p.m. will start early. We'll start maybe around 7. Maybe I'll just go adjust the time. We'll start around 7 so we can cover everything. So that next upper week, we can start with GST105 and ENT121, Economics and GST105, Philosophy of Science. All right. So thank you very much, everyone. I believe you've been able to get a thing or two. It's a nice class. We are here to update or bring your notes up to date. Do well to do that so that you don't get to miss anything. All right. Thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you by 9:30. I hope this guy gets my charger because my phone is about 10% now.
Sir.
Okay.
Sir.
Miss Glory.
Please, can you, sir?
Yeah, you want to say something?
Yes, I said, please, can you send us the link to the previous classes? I think this is my first time attending.
Sure, I'll send you the link. It's on our new YouTube channel for Telegram classes. I will send it. Just go to your private class now and request. I will drop it in the private class. This admin, right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, everyone. I look forward to seeing you later tonight. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye. Good night. Mr.